Hello, hello everyone, MVL here once again, and yes, we are continuing to construct the new game room. Well, you may have seen we have one shelf, but there are three more that need constructing, and that's what we're going to be making in this video. We have a multi-camera setup and more function than it is fancy, and we will be showing the constructing of these shelves. These are cheap shelves from Argos that I picked up. I'm thinking I may be getting more high capacity shelves to fill in for more games, but we shall see. I have to get stuff in, but for the moment these are perfectly fine for right now because I need to fill the game room. So let's go ahead and show you these shelves a little better. Now, I wanted to, on the previous stream, show the shelves off with a little more detail. This is the inbuilt camera in my computer, so the quality is a little worse, but we will be going back to the webcam, which is a little better for building the shelves. But I wanted to show you guys from a phone a little better view of the shelf itself. And these are main tall wide bookcases from Argos. They're around about £35. They're very similar to the IKEA shelves or the home-based shelves that you can get, except there's no cutout at the very bottom where it would fit more flush to the wall. And what I'll actually do now is I will go ahead and I will show you them a little better with the use of my phone, so that I can through OBS show you that a little better. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. I'll go over to my phone camera, and I hadn't just unplugged it as I lifted it up, but yes, I shall do that. Make sure it's plugged in, that does help. Alright, so the USB camera is very yes, now it is connected. Had to unplug it and plug it back in. It is very temperamental. But it would not be a stream without some form of technical difficulties. So, with that said, that is now working. I shall endeavour not to unplug it again whilst I move it. So let me show you the shelves in a little better detail. So if we go over to the camera here, I can show you these a little bit better as long as I keep it plugged in. So you can see here that they're pretty big. They have 6 shelves on there. Those are DVD height. You could probably add more, but you wouldn't be able to, there's more holes here that you could probably put more in, but you wouldn't be able to add more DVDs. I've checked it and they just don't fit. So that's as much space as you get with these ones. I really think you could, at this height, get 8 DVDs, but not with how this is constructed, unfortunately. So that's how that is. Another difference you might find in others is there's no cutout for it to fit more flush against the wall in this corner here. Normally there'll be a little cutout here, so this would fit more flush if you had something like this. It's not really a big deal. It still holds against the wall fine. But yeah, it's cheap and it does what I want it to do. So that's fine. Maybe getting better shelves down the line as well, but that seems fine for me. But yeah, certainly you could fit more in with the holes you have in these things. You could fit more CDs, definitely. If you've got more shelves, you'd have to buy a whole other shelf, and then take the shelves themselves out and put them in. But I did measure up at the end of the last stream, and that's as many as I think that could fit. So another thing I wanted to show is over here. This is another shelf unit. This is a CD tower, and this thing I got from Argos as well. This is about £30, and this could have some room for improvement. I have some. I think they are IKEA in my game room currently. And CD-wise, they would fit 12 rows. But this only has 10 compartments, CD-sized. And I spoke previously that this had 3 fixed shelves. That was kind of, I misspoke. You know, there's the middle shelf which is fixed, and then of course the top and the bottom. Likewise, unlike the IKEA ones or the other ones, there's no cutout at the bottom here for it to go into place. And really, these are okay. But I have measured these for DVDs as well. And for the IKEA ones, I can definitely get about 10 DVDs in one of these things. But for these Argos ones, I can only get 6, which is not so good. So you'd only get about 60 DVDs in one of these things, or about 100 CDs. Whereas the IKEA ones, they can definitely fit about 8 compartments. So you get like 80 DVDs or 12 CD compartments, I think. So like 120 CDs. So definitely, I can't really recommend one of these from Argos, one of these CD towers. I would think you'd be better off getting them from IKEA or somewhere else, because they would be much more customizable as to where you put the actual shelves themselves. But other than that, it's fine. You know, if that's what you can get your hands on it. We will be looking more closely at the bookcases, which I have to build for this stream. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. Let's build ourselves some bookcases and get that set up to go. All right. Okay, so with that in mind, we've got some bookcases to put together. I will be setting up the other camera to be in place for that. So I will set that up right now, and we should be good for that. All right, so may have to adjust the camera when it comes to it, the angle that is, but we shall see. So let's go ahead and switch back to the webcam and start constructing some shelves. Okay, all right, so I'm going to need some scissors, which I have, and let's open one of these things up. So this is how they compact, obviously, and they're very heavy. So I'm going to open them up and start building some shelves. I've already built one of these, so I'm not thinking that the instructions are going to be that complicated, but we shall see. I should say the construction I don't think should be that complicated, because I've already built one. Alright, so I'm just gonna open up the package, and then we'll get to the inside of it. All right. Okay, so we should probably lay these out, I should say. So if I remember correctly, one of these sides should be unfinished. That's finished. So it wants you to build them like face down. So with that in mind, this will be the right hand side, so I'll keep that on the right because the most holes are on this side. So that's that. No, I misspoke, because it wants you to build it this way around with the unfinished side facing you. This is actually the left hand side. Good distinction to make. Okay. I suppose you could build it either which way around, maybe. As long as you have the bottom part facing the finished side. And even then, it wouldn't really matter, because it depends if you care if the front side has unfinished wood or not. It's not a big deal. We have one of the fixed shelves here, because this has holes in it. So that's that. This is definitely the bottom place, because it's unfinished. There's screw holes in there. This is a regular shelf by the looks of it because there's no holes in it. And this is one of the fixed shelves as well. There's 2 fixed shelves. I shall be an expert on making these when I'm done, I imagine. So this is a positionable shelf. Let me know anyone. Should be 4 of them. At least there were on the last one. And this is another one. And that means this must be the last fixed shelf. Alright. So we have the 2 backboards. One of these will be bigger than the other one. I can't remember which way round they went, but it should be elementary. Like they only fit one way round, where depending on where. So one of them is bigger than the other. Depending on where the middle fixed shelf is, will let you know where they need to go anyway. So it's not like you can really get it wrong. So there you go. Hey Sam Ben, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Welcome to the weekend as well. We have wood. We do indeed have wood. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome to my stream. We are building some more gaming shelves. We've got 1. We're going to make 2. Well, 2 by the end of the stream is the goal. And there's 2 left after that as well. How are you doing, Sam, by the way, my friend? Glad to see you here, watching me erect some shelves. Right. And then I guess the only other things is the front plate here. Well, I should say the front, the bottom of the front, or support, whatever you want to call it. That'll go attached to the other part. Then there'll be a bag of all of the little bits, which is right here. So if I remember correctly, the big screws are used to put the shelves together, and the little screws are used to put the bottom support part together. Loving the game room. Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm all the better for you being here as well, my friend. Appreciate it. We've got this. Oh my goodness. This is a big wood here. This is the other part, which should be this way round. Yes, and that will be the right hand side. Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to discard the box so that I have a little extra room to construct in. I'm going to keep the scissors because I'm going to need them to do some scissoring on the little pack here. So let's make sure we've got all the bits. Yes. Okay. Let's make sure we have all the little bits. So we should have. We should be able to finish up constructing the shelf relatively easily. And here's one I made earlier. Indeed, my friend. Indeed. All right. So we've got this. Some of these parts I won't be using. One of the nails is poked through. I don't know if you can see that. One of the nails is poked through the bag, which is pretty funny. I don't believe you need all of the nails because I didn't use all of the nails. Well, they gave me one extra for a start, but I really didn't think you need all the nails. But we'll be putting all the nails in anyway, just in case. But yes. Alright, so I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. It's booby trapped! I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but I know I need 4 supports. Alright, bring this a little closer. There we go. Alright, I know I need 4 supports, so I will figure that out. And I put them all down in front of me, and we can verify that. Hey Cabot, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing, Cabot? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you dropping by. So, there's 2 of these for the wall mounting. I won't be using them, so I'm just going to put them back in the bag already. There's 2 wall plugs. Again, I won't be using them, so they can go back in the bag. And then I just need to verify the numbers on the little bits. So 4 of these brackets, that's important, I need those. I guess I'll put these to the right hand side of myself. So I will be using those directly. There will be 2 slightly long screws, but not longer. So you have these little screws here. These little screws are for the bit I'm just about to do. Nothing safe about this. And then you have the long screws, which are these ones that go into the shells themselves. You have 2 of these as well, which is for the wall mounting. It tells you to use a tape measure. But come on, you can tell the difference between these, right? You can tell the difference just by looking at them. There's no way you're going to need a tape measure. So I will not be needing these 2 screws because I don't plan on wall mounting it. So they will go back as well. They're the ones for the wall plugs. Hey Benjamin, what's up my friend? Welcome to the stream. So I'm not remembering the numbers I need, but from my memory they gave me enough. Plus I will have 2 extra screws. Indeed, got to build some more shelves. I've got to build shelves anyway for the game room. It's just more fun for me to do it and hang out with you guys at the same time, essentially. We've got a bunch of these screws. I remember one of them had 2 extra screws, and I think it was 2 extra of the little screws that were for wall mounting. So let me count these little screws real quick. There were 4 wall brackets. There should be 8 of these little screws. I have imagined there's going to be 10. So let me count them. Little screws. Yes, there are 10. So there's 10 of these little screws. I will only need 8. So I'm going to put 2 of these. Well, I'll put 2 of them to the side. I may actually need them if I somehow mess up the screws. But these little screws we're going to need. Big screws are going to put the shelves in. You feel cozy? Appreciate it. The microphone? Yeah, I can't really move the microphone around because I've only got 1 microphone. So it's just going to be wherever my position is. Plus, I'm going to get a new computer soon, which will hopefully alleviate the noise my current computer makes. Because I've been looking at one with an RTX graphics card, and that will have like a noise cancelling function. As it is, I've got a lot of noise cancelling stuff on the computer going as it is, but it's not enough to offset what my computer is currently doing. But I am looking at one. I'm just looking for one to get back in stock because the new graphics cards are very popular and they haven't made much of them. That's the RTX 30 series. So that it's quite a wait to get them. But I'm definitely hoping to get one very soon. But yes, we have the little screws. We have the big screws. So mighty, 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 tiny, tiny, tiny. But I need the tiny ones. There's 8 of the tiny ones. And there's like, I don't know, a million of these. It should be enough. And then we should have, I want to say it was 32 of these fixings for the shelves, which look like this. They're just like little metal fixings, and you get the little rubber attachments to them as well. But that's really like end game stuff, so we don't really need to worry about that right now. So I'm just going to put them aside. I'm going to just assume that I have enough of these things because I had exactly the right amount of stuff. Hey gangster, welcome to the stream. I had exactly the right amount on the last stream, so they should be fine as well. And then the nails, I think you have too many of these anyway, so I'm not going to bother counting them like I did last time. I'm just going to pile them up and put them aside because they're the last thing other than the shelf fixings that go in anyway. So I'm just going to get them off the floor space where I will be putting the shelves together. But definitely I think you don't really need all of these. And it seemed to be that other people haven't used all of them either whilst making them. It's more just to make sure the backboard stays in place than anything. But the backboard is very weak anyway because it's the thinnest material used in it. So it's not a big deal. Right, so put those aside as well. And I'm going to need my screwdriver. And we're going to start putting it together. Plot twist. End up making a bed frame. Well, that would be tiring work, won't it? Building a bed frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. Alright, so I've got my two parts here. First thing I'm going to need to do is make the bottom piece, which uses this bit, and it uses the unfinished shelf part. There's holes on this side, which is where the finished part is, so it's very obvious that it goes this way around where the holes are meet together. So that is fairly elementary, and yes, that lines up fine. And that uses these four brackets here, and they will, in theory, go into place perfectly fine with the little screws. The little screws, because it's not a lot of wood going together here. So little screws as well. A little bit screwed. Hey Dennis, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. Still at it? Yeah, we're on number 2 now. I'm thinking that this will be easier going since I made one before. Potentially hard work on the wrist, but you know, should be good. So these should be easy enough to put together. Should be. I think it's easier as well to do like 1 or 2 of these at a time rather than making like a bunch of them. Add strength. Ah, okay, fair enough. So it rocks back and forth if you didn't put the back of framing. Fair enough. The more you use, the stronger it is. Because it is the finished material. That's fair. That's a lot of wood, for sure. Well, I did use all the screws anyway, so I guess I will continue to use them just as a precaution. All right, so I'm gonna put these in. I think I'm gonna do what I did before and just get the screws in place and then tighten them up, so I have it in place. For someone was mentioning on the previous stream that they had built shelves and they've got the nails in the wrong place as well. I actually remember doing that on one of the home-based ones, which looked exactly like these, but they were white. I remember doing that. Previously, but this time around, I remember just to keep the nails straight as they went in. The screwdriver part of this is actually, with this screwdriver, is actually pretty nice because this screwdriver has a magnetic tip to it, so it's not very difficult at all to get these in place. Just gonna get them in like basically in place and then line up the wood and then tighten them up. You good, Dennis? That's good to hear, my friend. Glad you're doing well, my friend. Yeah, so let me line this up a little bit. Make sure this is straight, and then I'll try and tighten this up. I'm not going to fully tighten them because I want to do the other ones as well. Because if this is wrong on either side, then the sides might end up being wonky. If it's magnetic. Alright, so this bit I should be able to do like this, and then I can make sure that this is straight when it goes in. I think that makes sense to me anyway. Let's put these ones in. Get 1 or 2 of them in, and then I will tighten them up. Alright. So the main thing I just need to make sure I do is make sure everything's lined up correctly. Otherwise, it will be a bit wonky. Right next to each other and tight. Oh, the tip of the screwdriver came out. There we go. Almost went a bit crazy there. Alright, so you know what, I was saying that the tip being magnetic was useful there, but when you've done two screws right next to each other, it kind of like tries to magnetize to each of the screws, which is a bit weird. Okay, now the other screws are in. I think I'm going to go ahead and tighten the bottom ones. Some kind of music for the background. I think music might distract me a little too much, especially if I put on heavy metal. Okay, so let's tighten these up. The good news is it looks like it's essentially in the correct place. I just need to make sure that they are tight enough. Okay. The screws are definitely the most manual part of this. That looks fine. I got them like pretty tight, and then I'll tighten them up proper when I've done the other side. That bit is still a bit loose. So and you probably don't want to be too tight on this, because it is doing metal into plastic. Alright, it's starting to line up correctly. Or for the most part correct. So alright, that's pretty good. These seem to be in the right places. Now I'm just going to tighten all of the screws, but not too tight. Electric screwdriver. Yeah, I don't trust those things though. I don't trust them. Because I feel like if you do it manually, you have a little bit of control over, like, let's say if you're using an electric one, it kind of does it a bit too quick. But if you really take your time with it, it's starting to sound a bit dirty when I'm saying it like this. But if it doesn't go in the way you want it to, you can easily adjust as you're doing it. Although it does take a little more time this way, I will admit. Sure. Well, this is a little bit back on the front, but that's not a big deal anyway. Still in place. Alright, so that's that. It's gone a little bit back here, but it's still completely straight, and that's all that really matters. That's fine. So that's the bottom part. So now we've got to attach this. Let me finish. This will be this way down to the sides, which I have next to me, plus the top of it as well, which is either one of the hey Mythical Assassin, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Okay, so this was the right hand side, which means I want this shelf. Hey, CM Chris, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. New place? Yeah, I'm doing all right. We've got a lot of shelves to make for sure for the new games room. But I'm doing pretty good, pretty well, I should say. How you doing, Mythical? How you doing, Chris? Appreciate you guys dropping by for the stream. Essentially, I would be doing this anyway, and it's just more fun for me to stream it for myself. Alright, so the bottom piece will go in like this. It will need to be straight, so that will line up. At least it should do. Okay, so I think I made a bit of a meal out of the last one of these I did, so I'm just going to start screwing this in now, and with the long screws, you're fine. Hey, appreciate you dropping by, my friends. Got a lot of screwing to do. I think I'm going to try and get this one in place now, and if I can, yeah, these holes are in place. I think this will actually save me some trouble down the line if I can get this lined up correctly right now versus doing it later. Let's see. I think that's in the right hole as well. So, I almost fell over, but that's fine. This should be easier if I get these in. You've been making shelves? Hey Zombie, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, my friend. I hope you're doing okay, my friend. Hope you're doing okay. Alright, I'm gonna get this in first. Yo, Slayer, welcome, my friend. You coming over? You moving there? Hey, I would appreciate the help building shelves. How are you doing, Slayer and Zombie? Appreciate dropping by, my friends. This kind of is like a DIY thing. It's not something I ever imagined myself streaming, but since the move happened, I had to sort of find stuff to stream, if you know what I mean. Because otherwise, it's either I stream making these shelves, or I make these shelves and not stream it, and it's more fun. At least for me, it's more fun. Hey Tony, how you doing, my friend? Welcome. Welcome. How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you dropping by. At least it's more fun for me to do this with while hanging out with you guys. You guys are awesome as well. Yes, still got lots of shelves to grab as well. I think I did make a bit of a meal out of the last one of these I put together. So I want to make sure that I have these like sort of lined up before I begin. So I'm going to do that. And then we should have less problems putting the rest of them together. So the only thing I need to like make absolutely sure is that the base is at level. You get to see the room from the ground up? Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because like it is essentially, this is the entirety of the game room right now. All of my games are in the floor in the next room over, which I will be using as sort of like an overflow room for the game room. I might end up putting my PC stuff in there, I haven't decided, and just keep console gaming stuff in this room. But certainly other stuff I wanted to, some groovy mirrors, they're kind of cool, right? I think I'm just going to leave them there and put the shelves in front of them. They were just there as it was. I think there's also other stuff I want to be collecting as well, like D&D stuff, maybe action figures, but certainly I've wanted to grab a lot of like videos for a long time, even VHSs, and I really haven't had room for that, so I'm going to see if I have room for that as well with the extra space, because VHSs have always been a passion of mine from back in the day to now. Granted, I don't watch VHSs anymore, but there's still a lot of stuff that you can only get on VHSs, especially like even for like a Doctor Who fan like myself. I've got like a VHS of a little real-time picture called Downtime, which is about the Sontarans, and that's like its own little movie. It's not from the Doctor Who TV series. It's its own thing. And Real Time went on to become to become Big Finish to make audio dramas. So, that never came to DVD. It's only ever been on VHS, and it was a straight to video in its time as well. So it's never been broadcast. All right. So yes, I think this will be easier doing this like this. I think this should be easier if I get the bottom plate in. Or maybe I should do the top now. No, I'll do the top after I get the bottoms lined up. That's what I'll do. But I'll just make sure this is straight or thereabouts. Okay, so that looks okay to me. I'm going to grab the screws and screw it in. There we go. I think these ones I'm not going to fully tighten. So I'm going to get the top part in first as well. This was, I think, one of the things that really was more taxing than the other parts of making this. There we go. And what is this other one? Will this also go in place? Good screw? Or is it going to be a screw up? Huh? Okay, so I might have to use my little trick here where I use my... This time I do want to unplug, not accidentally unplug my phone. I'm going to use my phone's light to make sure I can see the holes, which seems like a plan. Alright. I think this is just ever so slightly not straight. Like ever so slightly. So that's what I'm trying to verify. Alright, the bottom one's in place as it is. Or should be. Okay, now the top part should be in place as well, and it is. Okay, so that should be fine. Now that these are in the right general area, and I can screw them in. Oh my goodness. Just go in. There we go. I think maybe I'll just do these all the way up. And then I will fit the middle. No, I think I know. That's wrong. I should leave these with a little flex so that I can get the top part in correctly. When I have the top part in place, I think the rest of this is going to be a bit easier. I'm going to leave them with a tiny bit of space to move so that I can put the top part in. The top part is one of these shelves here. And I just need to make sure that I keep the unfinished side facing towards me when I do this. I may need to use the hammer again. This will slot in the middle here. And as long as it's perfectly lined up, then it should be good. The right side's giving me less trouble than the left-hand side. All right. So it's easy enough to begin with. Hey Kims, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Just so happens that this part of the screw job is closer to the computer, so I might as well switch camera. Yeah, the right hand side is being well behaved and it's pretty close to where it needs to be. But the left hand side has been a little bit awkward. But once they are in place, it should be easier. Hey, how you doing, Kims? Appreciate you dropping by, my friend. I'm doing alright. Right, once this is a little way in, I will start doing the other side. I think what it is the carpet. Let's get that gaming room on indeed, my friend. I think what it is the carpet is not level. So like where it is, these shelves want to dip down a little bit, and I need them completely level. But if I hold them in place, it should be fine. Indeed, I think that is the case. And if I hold them in place, then there will be less of an issue with these screws. Yeah, that was much easier. So I just held the screws up a little bit, and then they were easy enough to put in. You're doing good. That's good to hear, my friend. Glad you're doing well. Turn this a little bit this way. Doing this side of the screws of the screw job. Hey, Bunny. Like an IKEA stream? Yeah, if IKEA wants me to rep them, I do need more shelves. It would not be a shameless plug. I would be like, hey man, I need shelves. And to be fair, I think some of the IKEA range is better than the Argos range. I showed a CD tower I got from Argos a little bit earlier in the stream, and I think IKEA ones previously, and I think they're a little bit better. Plus the IKEA ones have like a cutout at the bottom to make room for like the wood paneling across the bottom of your rooms. The board there. Those mirrors on the walls, yeah, they were there. They were there. They were just there in the room. I didn't put them up. I'm probably just going to leave them there and put shelves in front of them. They're kind of groovy. Alright, well, see how this turns out. I'm pretty sure it's going in mostly okay. Hey Octawave, welcome to the stream. You don't want to break the mirrors though, that would be bad luck, right? Also, it might not show up on the stream, but it looks like the walls have like a tiny bit of like glitter to the paint. Again, that's just how they were when I got here. You're probably not going to see much of the walls when all of the shelves are put up, because the shelves and like media units are going to cover basically the entirety of the place when it's all said and done. So we'll see how much is actually visible after the fact. Oh boy, this is definitely the most wearing part, putting these screws in. My goodness. I jump on the other side of this to do this. Take it from the other side. Also, games will fill up the wall. Games will fill up the walls. Yeah, they most likely will. I'm in the very corner of the screen now because I'm doing this side of the screws. But once they're done, I'll jump on the other side and change up the camera again. It'll be a bit easier. Alright. Yeah, setting up the cameras and the microphone for something like this was a bit challenging because I've never really streamed something like this before. So it was interesting to do. Alright, let's get these ones in place. On this side. It is very tiring on the wrist, like playing a lot of Wii games, if you will. I used to adjustment stream. Well, we definitely have to adjust these shelves, that's for sure. It'll be good to actually get the games up on them as well when that happens. Alright, and also you guys get a great view of the bald spot on my head. So, there you go. Oh boy, this is tough work on this one. Which probably means it went in slightly crooked. But it's not coming through the wood, so that is fine. Okay. Man. Ooh. Alright, let's do the other side. I left these ones out on this side so I could get everything else in place. I think when I put these in proper, it should be a little bit better set up. Alright, it's looking good. IKEA. I actually ended up getting Argos shelves. Just because Argos was very easy for me to get to, I could pick them up from the store. But I think the IKEA ones might be a bit of an upgrade. Might be a bit better. I've certainly been looking at a lot of shelves. From eBay as well. There are some high capacity shelves that are meant for media. These are actually meant to be bookcases, but certainly I've been looking at ones that are meant for video games and DVDs and CDs, and seeing what I can fit with those. But they're more expensive, plus I would have to get them delivered, and I think they're going to be definitely something I will upgrade from these shelves at some point. I will still have use of these shelves elsewhere in the game room or in the other room. But at least for now, I just want to get everything off it's like on the floor in the other room, so nothing's organized. And it's going to be a while before I get to move the shelves over because pretty much got to get all the shelves moved over from the other place as well. So when that happens, we will have a sorted out game room. Me and you guys get to enjoy it. This is the middle shelf. So this should be a tight fit. This one was a little awkward to do last time as well. I'm almost thinking that the middle shelf might have been a good idea to put that in prior as well to line everything up, but I've got the exact right amount of screws left. 4 screws. Sounds like a plan. Alright. 4 screws here. I think I will end up using the flashlight on my phone yet again. Actually looks pretty lined up as it is, so that should be fine, surprisingly. Even though it looks a little low to me, but we should see. And on this side, yeah, I think those are lined up. Let's screw it in. We're really getting screwed on this stream. But you know, I do enjoy a good screw. What can I say? Alright, now that that's mostly in place, I will do the other side. I'm going to have to switch hands, switch the left one, do a lefty. Alright. Once again, I might use the light on my phone to line these up. Let's see. Interesting, they look lined up. It's weird because the wood here looks, to me, it looks low. Alright, let's have a look at this. And indeed it was low. So that's where it needs to be. Lefty's the new righty. It's kind of weird as well because when you go on the other side, you're doing it with the gotta make sure you're still going right. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Ah, good. See, on the last one of these I made, I got the screws lined up perfectly in the middle section. Perfectly. And then I realized I put the middle shelf in back to front, so I had to turn it around. Because you want to have the unfinished side facing this way, because that's what you're going to be nailing in the backboards to, which has been advised is actually not actually there for strength as well. Alright, so it's just this bit, which is, honestly, this part is the most taxing with a screwdriver when you get like real close to the end. But we're very close. To having it done. Right, that's one of them. One more. I think I'm making much better time than I did in the last one, but I haven't needed to use the instructions this time round. Because I already know how to make it. Nice mirrors. Is this the mirror universe or the real world? I do have a beard, so I could be the Star Trek Mirror Universe version of myself. And the real MVL is trapped on the other side of the glass. Alright, nearly done with this bad boy. Alright. Everything after the screws is easier. Once you've done all that screwing around, it gets easier. I'll jump on the other side of this to do this. It's a little easier to do, I think. Very nearly done. And that's most of the constructive part of it. All right. Nearly there. I'm screwing around again. That MVL, always screwing around. Alright, as far as that one's going in. Okay. So it looks correct. So the next thing I need to do is get the backboards on. Hey, Jonan, welcome, my friend. Hello, Shelving, my old friend. What's up, buddy? We've gone pretty good on this one. Pretty well, I should say. And I need to do the back. One of the back plates is longer than the others, but it will be really obvious which is which when it comes to it. As a matter of fact, I think I remember that the one with the bigger label goes on the top and the one with the small label goes on the bottom. So I'm just going to use that as memory and put them that way round, assuming that that is correct. So that'll probably be right. Fine, thanks, Chuck. Preparing to chill for the weekend? Yeah, I got a lot of constructing to do. But definitely need to get it done. Use muscle memory. I will use all of my powers. And this one, yeah, again, I'm pretty sure this is the bottom. They're different sized. So only one fits one way and the other one fits the other way. They will not fit both way rounds, so they will only fit one way around. All right, so you guys ready to get nailed? We're gonna get nailed. We're gonna use the nails, that is. I know what I said. Let's do this thing. I'm not completely fussed if these line up correctly or not, as long as they line up. I know what I said. Hammer time. Stop. Hammer time. Okay. That looks basically fine. Time to hammer these in place. That was a stretch. No, I've already stretched them out to go in. We're good. Guys like Darth Vader. Hey, Fifth Doctor, how you doing, my friend? Welcome to the stream. Okay, so just gonna put like the bare minimum on, and then start getting these in place proper. Yes, that's what I'll do. I'll do one first and then do the other one. Yes, that seems like a good idea. I think I remember where these go as well. So I should be fine. Yes, I think I remember basically where all of these go. So I'll grab some more nails. You good? Yeah, I gotta get Lauren Hardy show up. Now look what mess you've got me into. Alright. So this should be... Man, Lauren Hardy. Classic comedy. Alright, so I think I need to put 3 along the back here. Yes, because I think it was 5 along the back and 5 along the top. Hey Wolf, welcome to stream, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Welcome. Hope you're doing well. I think it was like inside, inside, outside, but I don't think it matters at all. So I'm just gonna put them wherever. Ready to get nailed? Yes, I'll do it like this. Actually, maybe I'll do it this way. I'm doing my hammering. Well, the house is detached. So we're good. Some of them. Old comedy about the bus on the buses. Yeah, I'm more of like a DVD guy. I'll tell you what, my previous neighbor, stop that banging, you. My previous neighbor, because the previous house was semi-detached and we did share a wall, and the neighbor that I shared a wall with would howl like a wolf during the night. Not unless they were a werewolf, they were a jerk. That's for sure. I mean, it's fine if they're a werewolf. All right. Okay. Do his own stunts? I do my own stunts. Hey! Yes, I think I'll just put these in like this. I'm not sure the location of these screws matters that much. Castlevania. Castlevania was one of the games in my top 5 expensive games video as well. What if I was a sound effect artist, like folio artist? I probably would still use like hammers and nails to make hammers and nail sound effects. I saw the making of the AEW video game, and they were using you know a real wrestling ring to make the wrestling sound effects. All right, now I think. The werewolf guy? Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I think UK comedy is so much more funny. I think it definitely depends on where you're from as well, because of course I'm a Brit as well. I'm too sexy for my hammer. This is the same hammer I think I destroyed not Angel of Darkness with. In that video, I did a video where I destroyed Angel of Darkness. I think that was with a wrench. I destroyed probably a Batman video with this. Nice to see someone do productive as well. Appreciate it, my friend. I'm gonna get food after the work is done. After the deed is done, then I'll get something. Yes, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get this middle part in, and I can't remember if it was 6 in the top and 7 in the bottom, but. Or the other way around for the nails, but I honestly can't remember. I honestly don't think it matters. I'm just going to put them wherever. I'm pretty sure the bottom part is the longest section. To verify that. Yeah, the bottom part's longer, so the 7's got to be in the bottom. So, just make sure I get this in place. Alright. One of these boards as well is like slightly slipped out. Get back in there. There we go. Okay. I will line these up sort of, but I'm not too bothered if they don't line up perfectly. Was it one of the greatest movies ever made according to Jonathan Ross? Yes, it was. I had that on the front of the VHS. We showed it in the Danger Zone episode with myself and Jonah the Monkey. Jonathan Ross's quote, I think it was Batman and Robin, or it was Batman Forever. Reference both of them. I think we referenced both of them really, because they are where they tried to change Batman from like a kind of gritty like superhero to more like a modern adaptation of like the campy TV series, and those two worlds, like the gritty superhero like dark image with the kind of campy over the top comedic TV series of old times. Putting them together didn't work. At least I don't think. Some people love those films where Arnold Schwarzenegger's entire dialogue is puns. Anyway, I got a bunch of nails. I'm going to put these in place. I think I'll do the outside four first. Batman Forever. We did the arcade game. Yes, indeed. Indeed, we did that game. We got taken out by Sugar and Spice. who were characters for the movie. Interestingly, I think that Two-Face has a wide array of characters they could have used, but they didn't. They just made up 2 new ones. I'm going to do one of these middle ones because the boards don't want to stay together. There we go. Alright, now they're together. Not our proudest moment. I think we did alright in that game. What people didn't see is that we tried to enter a cheat to play as different characters before we started filming, and we just couldn't make it work. We've got I think on the Contra video, focus on hammering is real focus. On the Contra video, I think we had Clefairy Cheats, which was a play on Clefairy Says from the Nintendo 64. We should do the Nintendo 64 stadium game, mini games. We should do that at some point. But we had the Clefairy, because I used to really enjoy that mini game on Pokemon 64. And we had the cheat, the Contra code. That's a cheat we got right, because when we did Contra, we used the Contra code. But in that Batman video, we didn't get that cheat working. We couldn't figure it out. It might have been a cheat for the Saturn, or a lot of the time the little cheat books, because it was from a cheat book, a lot of the time the little cheat books you had back in the day, they just didn't have accurate cheats in. They just didn't work, like half the time. I don't think they were tested, so we couldn't get that to work. And another one actually is we tried to do it wasn't even a cheat. I think it was just a button press to continue from where you left off on Golden Axe. That was one of the later Danger Zone videos, and we put the code in. We just couldn't figure out how to continue on Golden Axe, so we ended up playing it again from the start to get to where we were. And that's another thing you don't see in the video, which is funny. Alright, these are looking good. Actually put that a little higher up. Get in there. Alright, so I might as well do the last one here. Just find demo discs, not from magazines. Yeah, I've got a bunch of old cheat books, but like, I remember like half of them just don't work. It's pretty funny. The ultimate guide to PlayStation cheats or something. Right, that's basically in place. I need to do the bottom as well, of course. I'm going to need 5 screws for that. 5 nails, rather. I'm actually looking to get some more demo discs because I threw away some of my demo discs. Yeah, I used to love demo discs, and I think that the demo disc 1 for the PlayStation, which came with the PlayStation, is now a lot more sought after because the character of like the Tyrannosaurus Rex that you saw in the menu of the demo disc 1 for the PS1, I think they appear in the inbuilt demo, like downloaded demo in the PlayStation 5. So that's pretty interesting. So I want to get the demo disc 1. I don't know what happened to all my demo discs. Yeah, I lost all my demo discs. Maybe they went with the water damage, but I don't have any of them anymore. I have a couple. The only one you had gave you infinite health on F-Zero. Nice. Yeah, I used to have an Action Replay. But I don't know what happened to it, but I did pick up one since. So I do have an Action Replay, but it's not my original one. Yes. Alright, that's pretty good. One, two, three, 4, 5. You've got PS1 and PS2 demos somewhere? Nice. It's basically lined up. Okay, that is acceptable. So now I've got to put the next, I guess, 6 on the top and 64 demo tapes. Yeah, I've got a lot of C64 tapes and other tapes like that as well. They have little demos on them as well. I got a lot of them from magazines. Especially when you go to the Amiga as well, you would get full games on those, which is pretty cool. So I think I'm just going to put one of these in the middle and then go from there. Yeah, I think that's how I'll do this. Figure out where he's going to go. Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to peek at the instructions. I get the Amiga Jaguar game drive. I did not. So for the Amiga, I just have it as it is. 64 games will blast, like Conan the Barbarian. I got Barbarian on the Commodore 64, but I don't have Conan the Barbarian. Alright, let's put this here. Although I have heard the C64 Mini camera's gone crazy. I'm here, camera, focus on me. Camera, there you go. Okay. There's a wave to the camera. Alright, I might need to peek in the instructions just to verify if I was putting 7 in addition. I guess I could count them if it was 7 in addition to the ones that were already there. might be relevant. I can count them. So I have already put the middle ones in, except for one. I need to put one in here. So with that in mind, there should be, if it was 7 below and 6 above, there should be 6, 6, and 5 and 5 left. Plus 1, because there was an extra 1 last time. And with the CD unit, there's an extra 1 in that as well. So there should be that many left over. So 5, 5. And there is 6. I have 2 left over, so have I miscounted? Oh, I haven't put 1 in the corner up here. That's what. So I have exactly as many as I need. Okay. Okay, so it looks like 5, 5, yes. So I have 1 nail left over in case I screw up a nail. I need to make 6 fit on the top. So 1, 2, 3. That's a lot. So I've got 5 more to go. Begs the question, I probably shouldn't have put that in the middle, given the spacing, but it doesn't really matter. So where should these go? Alright, so one of them is pretty much just going to end up being next to that one, because of the spacing I've done. And then, yeah, so I will go, yeah, okay, sure. My bad. So on the top part, I'm going to try and remember not to put a nail in the middle, because the amount of nails you have, the spacing of them is a bit weird that way. But I guess I will just do something like this. Put them like quite close together. I still think you get more nails than you need, so it's not that big a deal. At least in my opinion. Yeah, the Commodore NES, Super NES, PS1 computer, PS2. Nice. My first system was like using the VIC-20 and then the C64. Alright, so there should be one down here. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay. There's 2 more here. On this side. And then I should be good. Made a bit of a meal of one of these nails. So, whatever. Okay. C64 with disc or cassette. Well, over here in the UK, most of our Commodore 64 games were cassette, which took about half an hour to load. Overseas in America, they used a lot more big floppy disks than we did over here. They last a lot longer, but they were more expensive. Your subwoofers hitting new lows when I bang it. Well, I'm fortunate that I'm in a detached place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, okay. So I need another 6 on the other side. 3, 4, 5, 6. Made a bit of a meal of the nails here, but it's not that big a deal, I don't think. Same over there. Yeah, we mostly had the old diskettes, data sets. Sorry. All right. 2 on each side. I grabbed too many nails. Okay. Who would have thought that people would love to watch me banging? Just gonna leave that to lie, that one. I know what I said. Okay. Definitely 6 near to 3, 4, 5, 6. So there should be 7 aside here. Knew someone that had the latest and greatest stuff. Had the C64 with the 5 1/4 discs. Nice, Commodore printer. Oh, I used to love the printer paper when it had holes in the side, so that so it could reel up. That was good stuff. 3, 4, 6. Yeah, I got the VIC-20, and then ended up getting the Commodore 64. Commodore 64 could play fanfold listing paper. The Commodore 64 could play VIC-20 games, and we never had a Spectrum or a BBC Micro. We were really into Commodore, and then when the Amiga came out, we were all into Amiga until the point where the Amiga was obsolete. We were still really into it. All right, so maybe I just want to put one in the middle here and one on either side. All right. Should be good. We're nearly done with the nails. Let me banging my finger around. And VIC-20, Spectrum Plus, an Amiga A500. Yeah, we had the 500 Amiga. I have a Amiga 500. That's the only one that still works. That was the one back then. Same with the Commodore 64. I had 3 Commodores. You get different Commodore versions, like the 128. And I had 3 Amigas. The Amiga 1200 was the most powerful one. That no longer works. Neither does my 500 Plus, which is 500 with more RAM, more memory in it. But my original Amiga 500 still does work. I also still have the discs with the Retro Kickstart on, so I can play games from previous Amigas on them. Because the Kickstart, which is the system that they had, you'd have to go back to previous versions to make it works sometimes. Same with Windows, really. Maybe I'll just get these in place and then hammer them. This might be what I should have done the first time round, really. Get the nails in place and then hammer them. Because then I would have known I shouldn't have put the ones in the middle. What are you going to do? Alright, nearly done with the nails. Would you believe? Nearly done with the nails. Remember getting home and setting up the VIC-20? Got out of memory error? Out of memory error. Yeah. The most thing I remember is like waiting for the games to load whilst the so it would like flash random colors on the screen while they would load up from the discs. I remember that a lot. But often you might get loading games, or with a Commodore 64 you might get loading music or loading games, which is awesome. I never really used it as much of a machine for anything else than gaming, really. Myself, that is. Alright, that's all of the nails. My goodness. I really got nailed there. So, I'm going to turn this guy around, or at least to the side, temporarily. And we'll get these shells put in this thing. Alright, okay. Let's go ahead and get these done. We've got a bunch of these. I'm not gonna nailed it. I'm not gonna bother putting the covers on these. I should say I'm not gonna bother putting the covers on the nails, on the screws. But for the rest of it, I do need to put these parts on these so that I can fit the shells on them. Other than that, we're nearly done on this one. You end up with one nail left over, so I don't need this nail. The dataset player? Yeah, I used the dataset attachment to play the datasets, yeah, for sure. You had one with an earth wire hanging out, the plug. Trying to figure out where it went. Nowhere? Oh my goodness. We're going to need a bigger room. Indeed. So at the moment I'm just putting these onto these, so that we have the shelf brackets. We're nearly done with it. Just got a couple of these to go. And we should be good as gravy. That is assuming all of these fit. So there is a bunch of these. I think I'm actually probably going to stand it up first, and then I'm going to just put the shelves in the same positions as the other shelf. That might be easier, for sure. Yes, so there we go, we're nearly done. Plus I'm going to need to, I think, wipe down the wipe it down as well to make sure that it is cleanish-ish, because I cleaned all of my games. I won't want to put them on dirty shelves covered in sawdust or whatever packing material it came from. There we go. Ended up doing this about half an hour quicker having already made one. So there's that. Alright, so that's all of these made. Let's go back to the other webcam and stand this guy up. So, let's do that. Alright. So I definitely wouldn't feel comfortable not putting this against a wall. It's very very prone to tipping, I think, if it's not against a wall. But next to a wall, I think it'll be fine. So let's move this across. Don't really have anywhere good to hold it except on this side. Definitely better off being against a wall than it is not being against a wall. And once they're next to each other, I think it also helps hold them that way. About as close as it's going to get, I think. Yes, I think the mirrors awkwardly are pushing against it, but it's very stable. Like, it is not really moving. Like, I'd have to really pull on it to move, and if I do tip it a little bit, it falls right back. Is that the Zelda music? But yeah, there's the second one. I guess we'll put the brackets in of the shelves. Got a bunch of these to be placed. I should probably clean it before I do that though. So let's do that. Grab a piece of kitchen roll. And we are 50% of the way there. I'm looking at 4 of these. And yes, 4 of these. And then something on this side. And then there's another wall there. And it's going to depend on where I put other stuff as well. We'll have to see. Hey, no worries, Jonan. Good night, my friend. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the stream. I appreciate you dropping by. And I will catch you next time, buddy. Yes, we're just going to pretty much clean this off from all of the, like, whatever was on it. I'm not going to bother cleaning the top or the bottom, because I'm not going to use those, but it's definitely got a lot of dust on it from where it was. I probably should have cleaned the shelves before I put them on it, but what are you going to do before you put them on? At the moment it's rather dusty. Very, very dusty. Alright, so I should probably clean the shelves, as I just said. Let's clean them shelves, or at least dust them, because they're pretty dusty. One. Looking at 6 compartments in total, which is not bad. These won't necessarily be here either. I may end up moving these up. That all looks fine. I think these might have taken a couple of knocks on the way in transit, but other than that, they're pretty fine. I have just been sort of throwing stuff around as I've been making it as well. Okay. So I'm going to give another little once over. Pretty dirty. Okay. Now we're good. Put these brackets in place. Should be easy peasy. Because they have pre-drilled holes. Another thing is, I guess that you could actually fit more shells if you drilled some more holes yourself. I'm not going to bother drilling more holes. And you could get wood cut. At one point I did get wood cut for an additional shelf on one of the white shelving units that were exactly like this that I had previously. So I know that that's a thing you could do. You could even place these with thinner shelves. But then I think if you're going to go about that trouble, you might as well go the full trouble of like making your own shelf. It is something I had thought, but I really didn't want to drill into the wall when I was making the shelves. So I went for just assembling rather than building. Alright. So the last thing that remains, still very dirty. Mostly just dust and sawdust, I should say. Well, we had all of the pieces correctly. So all that remains is to put the pieces together. And was a little quicker than last time as well, since I'd already built one. I didn't need to look at the instructions at all. So let's put these in. Either which way, as long as the finished side is facing outwards, or if not, that doesn't really matter. I would say anyway. Tight fit. In a very tight fit. There you go. Maybe I overdid the screws, but it should be fine. Easier once the first one's in. Yeah, I might have overdone the screws a little bit. a little tighter than they needed to be. The top is looser than the bottom is. The bottom was quite tight. Alright, and that is a second finished game shelf right there. In total, you're looking at 600 with these two. I do need a lot more than that, a lot more space to fill before. We do have two now. There you go. So, but I do need to add some more gaming shelves to that to finish it off. But there you go, my friends. Hope you enjoyed checking out, watching me build some game shelves. I have two more of these that need to be made, and then I can go ahead and put some games on them. I still need to figure out exactly where everything's going. I'm not sure how many gaming shelves I will be able to fit. I definitely will be bringing a lot over from the other place as well. I have also been thinking that I need to figure out where the systems and consoles will be going as well. That's something else I need to figure out, and then that will determine how much wall space I have as well, from where stuff can go. But other than that, my friends, there you go. We have built a second game shelf. We have two. So there you go. There's the second one. And I appreciate you guys dropping by and watching me build these game shelves and be a crazy person and hammering and screwing around. And you guys have been awesome. Thank you for watching as well. If you like the video, be sure to leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. And if you'd like to, you can also support me through Patreon or YouTube channel membership. Take care, my friends, and thank you for watching. I have been MVL, and I will catch you next time.